Hi, welcome to MORSAMOUR Studios. I am your host, Alexander Flexman, and today we are with Miramichi singer-songwriter Cindy. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for coming into the studio today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's very nice.
I've got a few questions for you here today.
Okay.
All right, so the first one here is tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you?
Okay. I was born in Victoria, and through a series of moves, my husband and I ended up in Miramichi 19 years ago. So I traded coasts, and it's a really good fit. We really love it out here. Both my husband and I work for the government. So creativity is really important to both of us because when you have a job where basically you're just sitting in front of the computer all day, it's not terribly inspiring. So both of us have creative projects outside of work. And my main creative endeavor right now is I love to write songs and sing, and my husband, he does theater.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
What kind of theater?
He and I both used to be involved in Miramichi loves its historical plays. So we've done a lot of historical plays for Beaubear's Island, and most recently Sean, my husband's, done plays with Character Matters. So that's what we do.
Nice. So what kind of music do you make or play?
Well, because my instrument of choice is the ukulele, it seems I mostly write folk music. It's whether or not it's intended to be, it's just the sound of the ukulele. And now the baritone ukulele is what I use the most. It just gives everything sort of a folk ring. But I guess since folk music, a lot of, and the ukulele really lends itself well to that. It has a sort of a subtler tone. It's kind of just a nice background to the story without overwhelming the story with the instrument itself. So that's basically that's what I do. So I write a lot of songs about Miramichi.
Okay. Yeah. So what kind of inspiration do you get for that then?
Well, my friend Sean McCarthy, who is a local historian, he gives me articles about Miramichi. A lot of them were based in Nelson, which is near which is the town where Beaubear's Island is just across from. And he'll give me old newspaper articles. And the stories in them are very much a simpler time. Like, a lad was stealing sandwiches from a work site.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that. Or one song that I wrote was based on sailors landing in Nelson and wanting to go for a swim. And when they tried to cross this field to this beach, there was a bull in the field who did not want them there. Oh. So I wrote a song about it. And it's hard to say sometimes what inspires, because sometimes the things that seem simple because they kind of seem basic, they actually can be expanded on more because you have to make up the details. If you only know like, this happened, it's like, well, what happened in between? And you can make that up with your own story.
So you like to build tales with some real life inspiration?
Yes, exactly.
That's amazing. When did you start making music?
Well, I have been pretty musical my whole life. There's pictures of me when I'm like one, strapped to a chair, banging away on the piano. So, and I used to take piano lessons and things like that. But I always never felt confident playing piano in front of people because I would get super nervous and my hands would shake. So it became more of a personal hobby. And singing in front of people, because it just felt too much like I was opening myself up for criticism. I do choirs and stuff like that. But my own, perhaps you've also experienced this. When I first started singing, my voice just seemed to be stuck, like right in my throat, in a way that wasn't because I know you got your head voice and your chest voice and stuff, but this was not. This was completely being constricted by my nerves. Right. So it comes out like a squeak, and and again, Hugo has joined us, which is fine. We can just keep going.
Yeah, we can keep going.
It's fine. Do you have any opinions about music or anything you'd like to share? When did you start singing?
Like, please give me the mic. Give me the mic.
There's so much to say on the topic. I can tell.
Okay. choirs.
That's right. Back to choirs where nobody can hear you. So, yeah, it's, I don't know. So I always wanted, that was always kind of my dream, was to sing in front of people on my own. But because I was too scared to, I actually ended up I started doing theater when I was 9. And that was a way that, because it wasn't me, it was easier for me to be more vocal and ambitious and courageous on stage, because again, it was the character and not myself expressing my own emotions. So that kind of continued. I went to school for drama, and that's where I met my husband. And both of us thought maybe we'll have a life on the stage, and then that didn't happen, and that's fine. Cut to moving to Miramichi. I started doing theater in Miramichi as a way to meet people. And then eventually I got involved in musical theater.
Okay.
A lovely man named Lloyd Cameron, who's no longer with us, but he saw something in me I didn't see, and he put me in Godspell. And that was my first solo, like big solo in a musical. Okay. And it changed my life, because after that I'm like, okay, I can sing in front of people. Even though it was in character, it's still, I learned how to open my throat up. I used to work in a music shop called Saltwater Sounds, and the owner, he just had a bunch of guitars, so I was like, well, I might as well learn while I'm sitting here. And so I taught myself how to play guitar, and that's when I started writing songs, was back then. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I kind of just went from there. But then learning the ukulele was easier for me because it's easier on my hands. So then I was less focused on trying to play the chords, and because they're a lot easier for the most part. And yeah, so I just kind of went from there.
Nice. Have you ever tried picking up an electric guitar?
I had once. Friends of mine out west have one, and I was like, oh, this isn't too bad.
Way easier.
Yes.
I learned recently, I don't know why I hadn't thought of it, but like a lot of people actually perform in like standard tuning's E, right? But E flat is what most people perform in, because it's easier to play because the strings are looser. So then bar chords and chords are way easier to actually play. And I only learned this like a week ago, and I'm like, I've been playing for 7 years.
Oh no.
7 whole years of suffering.
Oh,
and bar chords could have been easier.
Yeah, it's funny when you get into the habit of doing something one way, and then you don't know until somebody's staring at you one day going, there's such an easier way to do that. This has nothing to do with music, but I learned how to crochet, and I'm not great at it. I can do like squares, straight lines. And I was trying to work on a blanket for my parents, and I'm achingly making these squares. And I was sitting in Sean and I were only dating at the time, but his mother was watching me crochet, and she was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm crocheting. That is not how you do that. And then the way she showed me, it was like
life-changing.
It was ridiculous. I don't know. I had no idea. And the Tinek teacher, you do this and this, and it sped it up. And then I got mad at Sean. I'm like, you should have asked me out a year ago, and then I wouldn't have been doing this right here.
I've had that with a few different things. I've had that before with when I first started producing, for example. I'm self-taught when it comes to producing. I just looked up a ton of videos on how to use my DAW, because I was like, I don't know how to use this button. How do I do this thing? Yeah. And then I'd go and learn a couple things in that video. But when I produced for the first year, I didn't use a metronome. So I wasn't following a BPM at all. And so I would sit there with one of my recording clients at the time, Faye Wilder, and we would sit there for 40 minutes to an hour while I tried to line up 2 parts of a guitar without it making a clicking noise while it's still lined up. And that's how I produced everything for a year. Wow. And so as soon as I found out, oh hey, if I actually follow a metronome, I can just copy paste it, I was like, this is so much easier now. At least I learned some stuff from it, but my patience was wearing thin.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, when I've had some of my work produced, they always have the click track kind of in the background, so you know. And now producing is something that I super admire, and the fact that you could teach yourself how to do it would be incredible, because I've watched when people produce my work, I'm like, there's just so many buttons and things, and then we do the takes, and he's lining them all up, and I find it incredibly overwhelming. So yeah, that's amazing if you could teach yourself how to do that.
Yeah, it's not always very fun, but it is quite rewarding, and you do learn a lot of things from it at the same time. The same kind of example I would have would be like hand sewing versus using a machine for the first time.
Yes.
I was like, I've been spending 2 days sewing, 2 days straight sewing this. I could have been using a machine and been done in 20 minutes.
Yep, my kid is very much into cosplay, and was scared to use the sewing machine for a while. And I'm like, honey, just give it a go.
No, literally, game changer. Especially when it's a big costume like that. Like it takes a long time.
It does. But yeah, they'd sit on their floor for hours and days, hand sewing, and then eventually I'm like, just here, I'll teach you how to use my machine, and they're like, oh my god,
oh my goodness,
so much faster.
Yeah, right.
But then again, then you appreciate. I think you appreciate it, right? That there is a long way to do it, and yeah, there's a quicker way, and sometimes in the middle works because sometimes the fastest way isn't going to work.
And both of them work for different things too.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got opinions.
She's got very loud opinions today. On and off my chest or my lap, and you've been in and out. What do you want? She gets really yappy. Like she's like dead quiet, and she'll only meow a couple times for food.
Yeah.
Like when I first go to put down her bowl, she'll do one meow. That's all I get in a day.
Oh,
but there's just a couple days in a row where she'll just periodically be like super yappy, and today's one of them. I think it's because of last night though. We were sitting down, like me and one of my closest friends, and we just started going meow. And then she wouldn't answer me, but she would answer my friend. And they would just go back and forth for minutes on end. And I was like, why is my child not responding to me? Like,
yeah, no, it's funny. Our cat, Mitz, is like, he rarely meows unless he sees something outside that he wants to attack, but we don't let him outside because he's kind of a bully and lovely cat, but he's very protective of what he can see.
Yep.
So if he escapes, the first thing he does is hunt down a cat.
Oh my goodness.
So, but and then he'll meow at us for a couple days off and on because he's like, I'd like to go back outside. No. And, but what makes him meow, and this is related to music, is my husband will play his harmonica and Mitz will meow. Like, yeah, so he'll be doing his, and Mitz, like it's, I don't know whether, but then he rubs against his leg. So I'm not, either he doesn't like it or he likes it too much. Like it's this amazing call for you. So, and then the other night I was singing around the house, and he started doing that, and I went downstairs. I was kind of tinkering the piano. So there are certain things to get him to meow, but he's not, which is fine because we had a cat that didn't stop meowing for 2 years at one point, so that was stressful.
My mom's cat does the same thing when she plays the flute. He hates it. He goes,
oh no, not a hat.
He hates the frequency or something. He's like, stop.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Absolutely cannot stand it.
No,
this is awful.
Which is really good for your ego when you got this loud audience screaming.
You're just like trying to play My Heart Will Go On, and it's just a cat yowling. Like the queer yap session.
Sounds good.
With all the cats. We summoned the cats today for the queer session.
Exactly.
So what do you love about our music community, and what would you change?
I would like to be more involved in our music community. I think that for me, that's sort of my next goal, is to try and find a way to become more involved in the New Brunswick music community. I do quite a bit in Miramichi, but I don't really know how to break out further than that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so, but what I love about it, from what I know, is that there's so many people that are involved in music. Like in Miramichi, you can't throw a rock without hitting a musician.
Right?
And maybe not everybody's writing their own songs, but they know how to play. I quietly play guitar in my house, and I don't tell anybody. But there's so many people that love music in New Brunswick and the East Coast in general. And I'm just I would love to find a way to just maybe play a show outside Miramichi. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
So, and and I do love the amount of folk music. I mean, I love all kinds of music, but I don't feel like a complete outsider with the genre I've sort of chosen. Again, because East Coast music, so much of it is rooted in storytelling, that I feel like there would be a place for me in my ukulele somewhere in there.
Is there anything that you would change about the community? Is there anything that you particularly don't like or would like to see more of, maybe?
I don't know how much I can really speak to that because I'm kind of new to performing. I guess maybe if there was more community pages or Instagram things where people can, some sort of community hub where people could. I don't know what people your age do now to connect. I'm older, so I'm not.
It fluctuates. It fluctuates so much because, there isn't a ton of youth here music-wise.
Okay.
In Fredericton, there's a couple of us. There's a couple people that are close to my age, and that makes me really happy because I find that, in school here, I personally didn't find there was a lot of resources or, groups for it. So I found out recently that Fredericton does actually have, a girls' rock club for, youth upcoming. And there has been fundraisers for that at one of the local clubs. And I find that's amazing because we don't have enough of that. The only thing here really music-wise is they had a course at UNB a few years ago, which I personally did. There was a music and songwriting course. But there wasn't a huge group. I feel like there may not have been enough promotion for it, or maybe it was just inaccessible or unaffordable for some people. But there isn't a ton of youth here that are into music. There's a handful in school that are going and getting, degrees and stuff within the arts. But I just find there isn't a lot here, and there isn't a ton of support for them either.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people end up leaving. You're right, going to the bigger cities, Toronto or Vancouver, and maybe they end up coming back every once in a while. But to have a culture of songwriting in general would be something that I would like. I really would love to work with people, and you meet people. And a couple years ago, I was on a Rogers cable show. This guy Terry Whalen, who is pretty well known in New Brunswick. He's a blues musician. He had his own Miramichi songwriter show on Rogers for years. And I met really great songwriters on the show. And we're yeah, we should get together in 2 years. Everybody's busy. Everybody has a life. But if there was some sort of community online hub even where we met once a month, let's talk about what we're working on. Can you collaborate? I'm stuck with this. I can't get this line. Is just some sort of... maybe some sort of online community that could meet up and then maybe one day meet in a certain city and just sit around and play each other or work or whatever. That would be something I'd like to see.
Some of the best resources that I know we do have around the province, I know in Fredericton it's become a little oversaturated, is open mics, and that's how a lot of people do get into the scene. I don't know if you've ever heard of the app Discord. No. It is, a lot of gamers use it. But
the Discord, yes.
Yeah, Discord. I was really?
I'm not that sheltered. For some reason, I was the word app Discord blended together, and my brain had to take a second to separate the two words. Cindy, you're on Discord with your family.
I actually started a Discord server because I found that there wasn't any New Brunswick Discord servers, for one, any public ones at least, and none in the Maritimes for music. So I decided to make a New Brunswick music server. But I haven't been able to do much with it yet. We've gotten a few people on there, but not a ton.
Okay.
But I'll keep that in mind for some events and stuff, because that's also something I would really like to see more of, is more people getting together and actually communicating, and we can build a bit more of a community together, because it's either very separated and isolated between the cities, or it's just very preppy, I find at times. I know Fredericton's really bad for that too. So I'm not sure how it would be in Miramichi, but I feel it would help to include some more people, especially new people, because joining a server is easier than, going out, and a lot of people use the internet now. So it's an easy way to meet people and find more cool artists to work with. Yeah,
for sure. And in that way, then if you do find you have a connection, or there's 3 or 4 of you who are okay, well, this weekend I'm free and we can all travel and meet somewhere. Because again, we were talking about before the podcast started, being in person versus being online it makes a huge difference.
Exactly, yeah.
So, and that is something I would genuinely love to collaborate more with people. I mean, there's people in Miramichi that I'm trying to get to collaborate with, or just and I mean no disrespect to Miramichi. It's just a lot of the culture of Miramichi it has a very large elderly population. So a lot of the music that the people play are covers. There's not a lot of scene for new music.
Yeah.
So I find that when I play, I throw a lot of covers in so that they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I know this song, and then I'll tell a story and why I'm singing this song and where I got the inspiration from it, and that seems fine. But it's like I mean I've never played in a bar, but I mean you go to a bar and I mean what 90% of the songs are going to be covers and ones you've heard a lot. Yeah. You know, from like people my age and stuff. It's, you know, if I hear Brown Eyed Girl one more time, like no offense to the song, but it's like wow. Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of the elderly generation likes what they're familiar with and what they're comfortable with, and that goes for like every generation. I find that repetition and things that they're used to or familiar with, they're more likely to find interest in. Yes. But especially with the elder generation, I find in Fredericton specifically, a lot of people are kind of closed-minded, and they'll find, and like anywhere this one applies to, people will always find an excuse to not go to a show. You have to give them every single, basically like, oh, you can't use this excuse because we have this thing kind of, you know, thing for any sort of excuse they could have, you know. It's really hard to get people out sometimes, and Fredericton's really bad for it especially, and I just also wish we had a bit more of like an inclusive community that would be more open to, you know, trying to go see new music that they haven't seen before. Oh, this is like experimental. I'm not really used to experimental. I haven't listened to it live. Let me go and see this and try it, you know? And to go back to your community idea of trying to like network and stuff like that with like having like some online community hub, I feel like events like that would be really interesting to kind of give you a different, you know, experience and be able to try new things and find more music that we love. But it is hard with the elderly generation.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm not saying we should exclude them. That's not what I'm saying. But it's to find an audience of people who want to come out and hear new music. Like I just learned about this. There's a festival in Ottawa, and it's more for plays, called the Fresh Meat Festival, and apparently it's been going on for 14 years. And a friend of mine just got to work with a puppeteer actor, and she made this 7-foot tall Sasquatch costume. It's really amazing. Like, she has a background in theater and costume design, and she made this costume. And it's called Are You There, Rod? It's Me, Sasquatch. And you look it up on the CBC. They did a lovely interview. Anyway, point is that the event itself is specifically kind of like a testing ground for plays. So they pick 5 out of the applicants, and then each play only has 20 minutes to kind of showcase, this is what I want to do, this is when I want to take it further. So people are going there knowing they're going to see perhaps really experimental theater, things that may be a bit off the wall, but that's the mindset they're in. They're like, I'm in for something brand new. So if it was like that musically, it's like these are brand new
showcases,
songs. Showcase. Like, these haven't been played. They're not, you know, they may not be the type of music you want to hear or used to, but it just to give people a chance to be in an atmosphere where people are not expecting the same thing. And when you're in front of an audience that has that mindset of listening to new work, it feels a lot more comfortable rather than, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not playing that cover you like.
Right.
So
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Songwriters NB does songwriter circles, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, that's something
they do them, if I'm not mistaken, they're free, and they do them in different locations around the province, like a few times a year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I should look into that.
Yeah. Songwriters NB is pretty cool. For a couple of like, we don't really have any community hubs online, just to trail back to that idea, but we do have a couple of good promotional pages. Like, there's Underground NB, and so like any new music that people release, you can submit it to them and they'll share on their page too. Or shows, like upcoming shows, they'll do that too. It's quite a small page, but they're really nice. Like, I've sent them stuff before and they'll immediately post it. There's also Atlantic Axes also does the same thing on their page. They have a bit more of a following, and they're on Facebook. That's the only thing I know of here that is like, oh, I can submit this and you know, get a bit more reach or meet new people. But it would be really nice to have a bit more of a community, and especially as a lot of stuff is online now, and especially if it's hard to get people to go out, it's kind of easier to meet some people online. So I definitely think we should have a bit more of that.
Yeah, and even if there was, sorry, I'm just thinking.
No, it's
like,
so good.
so, like, sometimes when I'm practicing for a show, because when you practice, you kind of give yourself that, okay, well, I screw up, I can start over, but when you're in front of an audience, it's
Can't do
I
that.
can't do that. So
Yeah.
I'll do Instagram lives just to test out a show, and I could just screw up in the middle of it. It's like, whatever, and maybe sometimes there's like nobody watching, but I'm still acting like there is.
Well, it gives you that experience, and it gives you that familiarity, and that also helps when it comes to even filming content, because then you're getting a bit more comfortable in front of the camera and stuff like that. Yep.
Yeah. So if there was like a night where it's like, okay, so there you have this group of songwriters, and it's like, okay, tonight is your night to showcase your stuff. And then even if it's just, like, again, if we can't meet up, then even if it's just, okay, well, like, I'm doing an Instagram live for this group specifically or whatever,
Ooh, that would be a really good idea, actually, is to have those groups do lives as well. If you can't meet in person, then you can, because multiple people can join a live.
Yeah.
So you could have the entire group that goes on a live together, and like 2 people are on at once, or one person's on at once, one person performs, and another person switches, and kind of goes like that, which would be really cool. All you would need is one person to host it, basically.
Okay.
And they could go live, because then someone could join them and then play on that live.
Oh, cool. Okay.
The main thing would be internet connection.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, because if the main person leaves the live, then the live ends. Okay. But if they have the host, and then one person joins at a time, performs a song, goes off, another person joins, goes off.
Yeah. That would be good.
That would be an easy way to do that online, or for, like, let's say Discord. Like, if Discord server, you could do calls on there as well, do the same kind of thing. It would be really cool to see a lot more involvement like that. That would be really sick, and I would love to see more of that here.
Yes, because I work full-time, and and I don't get a chance to, there's not a lot of opportunities really for me to go out and play. There's festivals and things like that, but and I'm going to try and put myself out there more. It just to keep that kind of comfort with performing, even, again, like we talked about, just like get used to it, even if it's to no one, at least that's that mindset of somebody could be watching.
Yeah.
So just to kind of keep that up. If you can't get out to do shows, then you still have a show. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Another good way is, besides open mics, it's going out to other shows too. It's another huge one, which is just like, you'll always meet people, or the best thing to always do is after their set be like, great set, and you're really good, comment on a song or something, and then they'll ask who you are, and you're like, oh, I'm this person, and they're like, what do you do? Musician.
Right. Yeah.
Easy way to meet people is to go to shows. It's very helpful, I've found, which also then I get to go and enjoy live music, which I don't get to do much, because also I work a lot. Like, I have multiple jobs, like, besides all of this in the studio and everything, I have another job.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a lot. So I completely understand that it's very hard to get the time. Like, I've been, like, getting to a point where I'm like, okay, I don't go out, I don't go on vacation, I need to do something. So I'll do, like, one show every month or two, and then I can go and enjoy music, but I'm also working at the same time. So it's a bit rewarding at the same time,
Yeah. It is, and you want to strike that balance, because if all you're doing is working, like, then your creativity just dries up. So even if it's just every once in a while, it's like, oh, you flex that muscle.
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing, like, there isn't a lot of open mic things in Miramichi.
I'm really surprised by that, because they do really well. Like, here in Fredericton, they did so well. Like, there was, like, I think the Caps was one of the first ones, but it did so well that all the businesses started doing them, which then it got oversaturated. So now, like, the crowds are thin for open mics. Like, we have one every day of the week, if I'm not mistaken, if not, like, 6 days a week. Like, there is so many here, but then it's just made it wear out so thin.
Okay,
but, so maybe that's something that Miramichi needs to take note of, like, because, like, a lot of people do enjoy that, and it gets more people to go out, it gets more people to go support local businesses, it's overall win-win situation.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, there are people who pop up in a coffee shop or whatever, like, Dylan Ryan.
Yeah.
He's, he'll do a lot of coffee shop stuff, but he's busy. Like, every time I see his page, he's somewhere else. He's
right?
I'm just like, oh, good for you.
Yeah.
So
every other week he's like, I'm doing this, I'm going to this city. Next week I'm in Sackville. This week, St. Andrews, St. John next week. I'm like,
And sometimes it's with this band, or I'm doing my own thing, or now
or
I'm
the
here.
tribute.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that man stays busy.
He
all
really
the time.
does. And it's funny because like we've been following each other on Instagram for a while, but I didn't actually meet him.
Really?
Until I was in Toronto at the airport.
In Toronto? Was that when you went to see Oasis?
Yes, and I'd been there. I'd been there visiting my kid for like a month, and then I'd just seen My Chemical Romance, so we were both like, "You here for this? I'm here for that." But I'm like, I don't think we've actually met before.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So
I had been following him for I feel like probably close to a year now. Mm-hmm. I didn't meet him till September.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny. I just but that's cool too. Like that is one thing I like about Instagram, that it's easy to connect. Yeah. With people, and then you just have to, take that step further and reach out. Hey, how are you? This is what I do. Miramichi will have open mics for like comedy, which I don't go to. I love comedy, but at the same time, no offense to anybody, I swear. It's just if it's not great, I want to die. Like I just want to disappear. I'm like, oh.
That's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
And you never know. It's kind of up in the air when it comes to stuff like that. I haven't gone to, I don't think, any open mic comedy shows yet. I would really like to go see one of my friends though, Tessa. She's really good. Her comedy's hilarious. She's just, anytime you hang out with her, she's comedy mode 24/7 basically. Okay. And it's just like silly, somewhat dark humor because like she used to work in a funeral home and stuff like that. Oh, wow. I'm like, so there's a lot there, but also a queer person. So like there's a great mix, but it's just like when you're hanging out with her, that's what it's like. So it's like you get a free comedy show when you hang out with her at the same time. God.
Yeah. It's just stand-up is such like I listen to a lot of it. I watch a lot of it. Mark Maron, who no longer is doing his podcast, he would have lots of comedians on, and it's like now I'm comfortable getting up and singing in front of people, but trying to get up, the thought of doing stand-up just people have said to me, "Oh my God, you're funny. You should do stand-up." It's like it's not the same. Like it's
because if the joke doesn't land or if you mess up one sentence, then it's just awkward.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not great with awkward. So if I'm telling a story about a song I've written and see people happen to laugh, that's fine. That's incidental and that's fine. But I'm not up there trying to make people laugh.
Yep.
And that, it's a real gift. I really admire it. But when it goes south, it is difficult to be around.
Yeah.
Finding a community, people too, finding a queer community of musicians in Miramichi would be nuts. I don't know how many there are.
Nope.
So,
but something like that might drive more people out, Like, This next question I've got for you is, who would you love to perform with and see live?
I've been fortunate to see a lot of people live that I've loved. Been going to concerts. My first concert was George Michael in 1988.
Nice.
Yeah, it was his Faith tour. I didn't realize back in that I was 15. He was only 25, and I just thought he was so much older. But he was not. But it was incredible. My favorite band, and I did not know this was going to be asked. I'm wearing a shirt of them. Ice House. It's just a coincidence.
Nice.
I've loved them for 40 years. And I also have a tattoo the same as my shirt.
That's amazing.
I only got it recently.
What?
Yeah, but I got pride colors for the flowers instead of the...
Oh, that's so cool. What a neat twist.
Yeah. So... And again, just a coincidence. I have other shirts. So
I'm the brand now.
Yeah,
I'm the brand ambassador.
Yeah, I'll be the brand for Canada because they're an Australian band and they probably will never. Ice House, if you're listening, could you please come to Canada? Because I'm not going to Australia. I have a deep fear of spiders, and there's a lot of them down there, and so I can't. My adrenaline glands would burn out very quickly. So
Australia's a scary place currently, for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just no. So but I absolutely love them. Like my favorite song is "Electric Blue" by Ice House.
Nice.
And one of their live albums, the lead singer Iva Davey just talks about how he has trouble writing simple songs because he's very orchestral. He grew up playing the oboe in like an orchestra. So there's so many of their songs. They're so just layered with different types of music that sometimes I'm listening to a song and it's like there's a piece of music in there that I never heard or noticed before, and I like that about them. You're always kind of discovering new things with them, even though I've been listening to them since I was a kid. But playing with them would be amazing, but I would love to see them, and I don't know So
fingers crossed they come here then.
they're getting up there in age. So I mean, they're very active. They play a lot in Australia, but I don't know if they'll be working their way north. Anyway.
Well, fingers crossed for that dream.
Yeah. So that would be that's a huge pipe dream. That would be lovely.
So what are your career goals and dreams?
Okay.
Besides playing with Ice House.
Besides playing with Ice House, yeah.
We already touched that one.
Well, if I'm looking at it from my age and where I am in my life, it's unfortunately things like needing to save for retirement are something that I have to keep in my mind. But I would really, really just like to become more part of the New Brunswick music community, to play more live with people, to write, just continue to write songs and collaborate. And that would make me really happy. If it becomes something great, and if it doesn't, that's fine too. I'm just looking to keep being creative is my main goal. I like to keep creative. It keeps keep demons away. So, yeah.
It's always good to have an artistic outlet. That's what I say.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I would also love one day to maybe write a musical. I don't know what about. I have friends who do that, and they're very good. It's just, that's huge collaboration. But then if you meet people in the community, and again, that's when you could maybe meet people that would be able to work with you. Like, my music skill only goes so far. So, but to work with other people who have more experience would be...
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be neat.
Nice. And I have one last question for you today.
Okay.
If you had one wish, what would it be?
It would really be to see Ice House.
Yeah.
As long as there was no spiders.
As long as there was no spiders.
Just fly me in. Fly me out.
You wait and their set starts and they start letting out tarantulas on the stage.
Exactly. The big huntsman spiders they have down there just start, even if they're there to see the show.
Yeah.
They're harmless. No, but they're huge and predatory. So but also I think I would love it. Like I mean, I love singing my own music, but I would love to work with somebody, and I mean, maybe this goes back to the dream goal question. I would love to be able to write for someone. I have I'm not super precious about who gets to sing my songs. I would love to work with somebody and have them.
So either like a ghostwrite or like a collaborative.
Yeah, collaborative thing, and then they can, because like if somebody is more, like this is more what they want to do, and this is more the goal they're looking for. It's like, oh, I could help that way, because I'm not planning on doing this for a living. But if I could help somebody and work with somebody that way, that would be really nice to do. Yeah.
Sounds amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today, Cindy.
Thany you so much for having me, Alexandra. I appreciate it.
Of course. I'm Alexandra Flexman from MORSAMOUR Studios, and this is episode 2 of our interviews. Before you leave,
where can you find me? You might be wondering. Okay, I'm just basically on all the streaming services, wherever you get your music. Cindy Rule. I have a few songs that are produced, kind of folky. Well, there's one that's not. It can bust out of my genre if I want to. So yes, please find me, Cindy Rule, and enjoy. Yeah.
Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.